Atlanta, live from K.L.P studios. Ever wonder what went down behind the scenes of our top stories?
Say what?
Then tune into What Had Happened Was, the only radio station that takes you straight to the source. From coast to coast, tune in now as we dive deep into the stories, the drama, and the moments that shape the culture with
The Swanky One, new K.L.P.
and
with your girl, Evelyn Letitia.
live, Swanky 93.3 and the Heat 94.6 radio stations, or wherever you get your podcasts from.
Hey, you know what day it is? You know what day it is. Hey, welcome back, y'all. It's your girl, the one and only, the E to the B to the E. Evelyn Letitia, you know what it is. And my boy sitting next to me, Kennedy Lucas Patterson.
Boy, howdy.
And you are now tuned in to... Make sure y'all are following us on Instagram, WHHW Radio 1, and on Facebook, What Had Happened Was Podcast. You can listen to us wherever you get your
What had
podcast.
happened was,
But tune in. Make sure y'all following us now. Let your people know.
what had happened
Ladies and
was,
gentlemen, boys and girls.
Yeah.
We back.
We back.
We back.
You see how the devil tried to get us just now.
Yeah,
He
no.
stop-
Yeah, I was
but
like,
your girl
I
was
was
ready
looking
for
at the
it.
equipment like, what happened?
But your girl was ready. She kept flowing in
Kept
there.
flowing. That's good. That's good. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back. Boy, howdy. This is, of
What Had
course,
Happened Was.
the What Happened Was podcast.
Yay.
One of our favorites. And by the way, Evelyn mentioned it. Make sure y'all follow us on social media because it's popping over there. I'm talking 300
What's
views.
poppin', twin?
400 views, 500 views. Like, we kind of doing this thing. Welcome back to this week's episode. I am your one of your hosts. Boy, howdy, K.L.P. Kennedy Lucas here. And of course, to my right, Evelyn is here in the studio
What's up, baby?
to give y'all what y'all need on this podcast. And let me tell you, Evelyn,
What?
a lot of my friends, they watch the snippets like, it's like, Kennedy, we love you, but we love it when Evelyn just pop her stuff off. And I'm like, hey, hey, I just let her go because you're dope at it.
You know, it'd be the still shot when you have like our pictures and stuff, like the small reel you do before we actually announce.
Right.
And I'm like, that I'll be laughing with my whole teeth, my whole throat be open. I'm like, ah.
Yeah.
I'm like, those still shots be getting me.
Now I gotta look for that still shot, what you just did, 'cause that's for this week's episode.
There gonna be a still shot there.
But yeah, welcome. We hope that everyone follows us on social media,
Yeah.
Instagram, WHHW Radio 1, and then Facebook is What Had Happened Was podcast, as well as Swanky 93 and the Heat 94 to listen to the full episodes on the platforms. Of course, we like to do this thing we call catch up first. You know, before we get to the nitty and gritty. Evelyn, what's been going on
It
since
happened
last
was-
week?
Well, with me, just to get some updates, of
Yeah.
course, my team, 1334, my production team, we are still, heavy in planning for Aggie Pride, our second shoot down in December. But for the summer, our production, the majority of our production team, we are all doing summer shorts. And so I've talked about mine on some previous episodes. And originally, I was going to do some casting notices, but I am still trying to locate a place that fits exactly like what I want, because it's very specific. So I'm still trying to get my location. So because of that, and we're supposed to be shooting mine on July 18th, I have not put up any casting notices because I don't want to put up a casting notice and have people from 10 states over.
Right.
And I'm like, hey, I'm not paying accommodations for this. This is a one-day shoot and stuff like that. So I feel for this first one, I will be choosing cast members, but it'll be more hand-selected, for this. But don't worry. Don't stress yourself.
Yeah.
Your girl got more stuff in her bag coming out, okay? So on other ones that I'm writing currently, I will be doing future casting for those. But for this one, I'm going to handpick certain cast members. And also, I'm still searching for the location that I need. I got a few places to look at today and tomorrow. So we're going to do that. But outside of that, trying to stay healthy. Been rehabbing, like I said, my knee since, February.
Yeah.
I got 2 more sessions this week. And so, I've been back playing some basketball and trying to get my lung cardio and all that kind of stuff built up.
Yeah.
What else have I done? Oh, yesterday I got to go. One of my homeboys from college, when I was at Clemson, I sung on a Clemson gospel choir. Ooh. And he was one of our musicians, and he's actually also the one that I credit. He gave me my first bass guitar because I told him I wanted to learn bass, and he's a bass player, dope bass player. If you ever in Greenville, Anderson area, LeBrandon Anthony is a dope.
Shout out to you, Brandon.
Yeah, LeBrandon. LeBrandon is when I tell you. But he gave me my first bass, and was teaching me some stuff, and then I haven't practiced in a while. But we had this jam session at his house yesterday, and
that sounds fun.
Some amazing musicians that came out, and we had keyboard players. We had 2 drums set up. A guy came with his saxophone. Another young lady who I got to connect with named Destiny. She's amazing. She sings. She plays keys. She was on the drums. What else? She writes music. And she even got on the lead in the bass guitar. So we got to connect, and I was telling her about, I'm trying to revamp my band. So there's connections there. Yeah. So I'm I said, we're going to make some stuff happen. So slowly but surely, I'm reworking and getting my band back together. And so hopefully by next year or even near the end of this year, we can get some gigs and stuff in. If I got a few more people I want to contact. But yeah, it was an amazing time.
Awesome.
I didn't jump on any instruments. I was gonna bring my bass, even though he had 2 of that. But when he told me how many people was gonna be there, he's like, probably about 40 people. I said, no, I'm gonna leave mine at home because I was like, these are their experience. Yeah. Even though you don't have to be experienced to jump in the jam, right? Because there's time where he'll tell me, put the bass on. He'll tell me which notes to, do to hold the bass line down, and I can do that. Right. But yes, I said I'm just gonna focus on singing. I said because I don't want to slow the jam down when we trying to do the notes. Yeah. So I was like, I'm gonna sing. So whatever they were playing, I would rap a song or another song to it, or sing another song to it. Right. And then there was certain songs that they did play outright. We did some Michael Jackson. Destiny got on the keys and she was playing The Way You Make Me Feel. The way you make me feel. That pretty baby with the high heels on. Hey, I was just I love that song. We did that one. What other? So You Want to Be Started Some? Not that one. Off the Wall. Got me working day and night. Yeah. Got me working day and night. Yep. Something like that. Yeah. Something like that. Yeah, we did that and a whole lot more songs. So I had a great time yesterday.
Sounds fun. That sounds very fun.
Then I went to my big sister's house because I was coming back up 85 and they lived in Easley. And we decided to go to Greenville to gather. We was either going to go to gather, which is this. It's this outdoor containment, those shipping things that they've changed into what I'm trying to say. Not food trucks. But food places that you can walk up to, and it's the middle is all these tables, so it's a big open courtyard. But it's called Gather. Okay. And then across the street is Miami. Yeah, across the street is called this place called Coops. That I used to go to Coops Corner. Ooh. They were packed, and the back patio outside was open, but you had to go downstairs. So we didn't want to do all that, so we wanted to gather. Right. And we ended up eating at this black-owned restaurant called Walk Lobster. And oh my gosh,
best lobster.
I had some shrimp fried rice bowl. Oof. It was so good. That sounds good. It was so good. And then they had this their own homemade lemonade. They had lemonade, ginger in it, and something else. And I tell you, it was so good. I told them I'm gonna write a review. I even took a picture. I'm gonna show y'all the picture I took last night. Where's my camera? Right there. I want y'all to see that empty bowl. I said my review gonna say, do not eat here. You see this picture? You see that bowl empty? Don't eat there. It's nasty. Or don't eat here if you don't want if you want people who are smiling all the time and super professional. Don't you eat here? Because they were very nice. They explained everything. But my review is gonna be funny or play on every reason you should eat here. But they were amazing.
Oh, that's cool.
Turned out they got a food truck. So I said, yes, I will be recommending y'all to my neighborhood because we have food trucks on certain days that come out to our clubhouse, and we just let our entertainment community know. I said, yeah, I'm gonna let them know because this was good. That was really good. But it's called the Walk Lobster.
Walk Lobster. Yeah. Okay.
The Walk. Okay. WOK and then lobster. So I enjoyed myself.
That sounds like some good.
When I got home, and they cook it fresh to order in front of you. Okay, ain't no, we already made this and it's frozen. I'm just warm it up real quick. Yeah. Baby, it's good. Yeah. They cook it fresh to order in front of you, and so It might be a little another, when I'm over there, go get me something to eat from over there.
Right.
It was so good. But I got home and took a shower.
You took a nap after that?
The nap, shower. When we ate there, we probably got there like around 9 p.m.
You were there.
Because this was after, like, I had gone to the jam session during the day and everything. And I went hang out, and then we went downtown. So by the time I got home, because we left out of there maybe right at 10:15, something like that. So I got home, I showered, I got in bed, and I just took a while. I bet.
She's out, ladies and gentlemen.
On my way to the studio this morning, I was like, maybe I should just text Kenny to see if he still want to do this today.
I was like, hey, we still on?
But I figured, I said, let me go ahead and do this now, because, I don't want to wait till the weekend of the 4th when I know I'm going to be turned up.
And I'm glad for a lot of people don't know, we schedule our podcast recordings, and when you text like, hey, can we just push it a weekend? Like, yes, we can do that, because I might have something to do.
Well, and the thing was, this particular weekend, originally I was supposed to be out of town, because like I said, my production team, we're all doing summer shorts. Yeah. And one of my teammates, Ife, her short was supposed to be shot on yesterday. But she needed a little bit more time, so we pushed hers to the 25th. So that opened back up my Saturday.
Right.
And another friend that lives here in Atlanta, I reached out to him on Monday because I sent him this thing, because I think they have like what is it called? The Crawfish Festival or something that's going on down here. And I said, he said, oh, we should go. I said, okay, bet. Let me check my schedule, move some stuff around. So when I messaged you, that was me saying basically, since I'm coming here Saturday. Right. And by the time I was going to come in Friday night, and it was going to have Friday together, Saturday together. When I woke up Sunday, I was like, I'll just hit the studio on my way going back out, because I got to pass by here. Right. And that's why I changed it, only for me to come right back to him the next day. And I was like, hey, I got everything changed. I'm going to be coming in Friday. He said, I got to work Friday to 10:30, to 11:30, and then Saturday I got to work at this other event from that morning to 10:30. I said, well, ain't no need for me to come then. Yeah. I was like, which we had a conversation last night, because we talked, and he was like, were you mad at me? I said, I wasn't mad. I said, I was frustrated, though. Right. I said, because I try my best to support people, to hang out with people. I'm the friend that if you call 9 times out of 10, I'm picking up on the first ring. And even that, I had to tell myself, Evelyn, quit making yourself so available to people that don't give a damn. Yeah, that's true. Or like you, like when they call you, it's hard, but it's like when they call you, you picking up, or you respond within a certain amount of time. That's was reasonable. Yeah. But when you call them, you never can get them on the phone. You text them, you don't get a text back to whatever you asked them or whatever 3 weeks later. Yeah, so I'm like. So I've been on this, like quit making yourself available to people that just, And so when he asked me, was I mad? I said, I'm not mad. I wasn't mad. I said, but one, I was tired. Right. Because it was a long week last week. Right. I said, two, I was frustrated. I said, because here I am making changes and stuff so we can hang out. Because when I sent the link for the thing, I was just showing that this is going on in your city. Right. It wasn't me sending it saying, let's go. He said, ooh, let's go. So now, and then when I found out we weren't going to be filming just Saturday, I was just like, okay, well, I can go, but I need to, make some stuff around. Let me see if Kennedy gets... So I was like, I wasn't mad. I was just frustrated because people don't realize how much it takes to move stuff around in my schedule. And then when you do, people are not considerate to say, oh, I forgot you. Oh, man, I didn't communicate that. So I was like,
I know all too well. Like, hey.
So that's why I was like, I'm there. I was like, I wasn't mad, but I was frustrated. Yeah, because I said that whatever y'all see on social media, a lot of times I'm posting stuff that's retroactive anyway, because I do so much. Like my phone is so full. Yeah. I have to even dump some stuff on my computer just to send an email sometime, from my phone, because it's so full. But I got to so a lot of times I'll try to indicate when something's old. I'll put late posts because I'm trying to catch up, but stuff is steadily happening and life is moving forward. But I'm like, I just, y'all don't know, but I would say 85% of the time I am at my house. So when you see me on social media and I'm out and about and stuff, again, sometimes those are retroactive posts and it's very limited in the scheme of things. And notice what you are seeing me doing when I'm out and about. Most times it's me working on something,
Right.
or I'm at a gig, or this and that. So I'm like at my house 85% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
The other 15% again is me working, whether it's in nursing or the entertainment business, or me hanging out. So I'm not even this type of friend that's a bugaboo. Like I feel like you got to be my skin, I got to be your skin. I'm not even that type of friend, right?
Right.
So like I had to make it quit being available to everybody as much as I am, because that's often not reciprocated in the way that it should be or that I need it
Makes
to be.
sense.
And I said, if people really understood how in love I am with my alone time,
That's the best thing too.
people wouldn't ignore my phone call, because when I do stop calling and texting, that's when all of a sudden people act like, oh, you change, or I feel like every time we hang out I'm calling you. I'm like, no. It seems like that now because I quit calling.
Right.
Because I quit texting. I'm like, y'all don't understand. When we was in quarantine, I was in heaven. Right now, I can go and live on an island by myself, and I would be perfectly fine. I love my people that I hang out with, my family, my friends. I love them. I love y'all. But I also can be by myself and be perfectly fine.
I'd be like, too, I love you. I need a day to myself. Like, y'all go ahead.
Yeah, and I can't tell you how many people see me having fun on my social media and all that kind of stuff, or if they've ever experienced me out and about, like when I go to karaoke or something, they're like, oh, we should hang out, blah, blah, blah. And when you tell me that, I genuinely be ready to. I'm okay. Well, let's get something together. Yeah. But even that now, I'm like, oh, people shoot that. They say that all the time. And then when it's time to, then when it's time to like set something up, everybody's flaky, this or that. I said that's why I do so much stuff solo dolo by myself, because y'all will say I want to hang out, and then here I go. I don't plan stuff. Reach out to people. Oh, y'all. Well.
Something came up. Oh, I got to work. Oh,
so that's what I'm like. Like I said, me and one of my homegirls who's in the entertainment, she does directing and writing and producing, all that kind of stuff. We're actively planning to go to Japan next year at the end of the year. And thinking about it, because she was like, she went somewhere, and she told me where she went, and it was supposed to be like a friend trip or whatever.
Right.
And everybody started flexing. She ended up going by herself. I said, well, if you ever want to go, let me know. I said, because I am not the one to flake, because I take solo trips all the time. So it's great when you have people that, they ain't going to flake, and they're just about it, Because I even thought about it. I said, should we open it up to other people to go in Japan? I said, nah, that'd be a headache.
And then it's Japan. That's going to some people. That's going to cost them a pretty penny.
Hence why it's next year at the end of the year. Like, give me some time to re-up. But yeah, so. But that's what's been going on. I've been talking a long time.
What had happened was
that's the episode. God dang, Kimberly, you can tell me to shut up.
No, you can. I just ain't. You have a lot of dope.
And for y'all who see this is not my pants. This is a throw blanket, because I got my thighs out today. And I know how I am. I be gonna open these legs wide up to this camera, and I'm like, let me just put something there. So y'all, that's pay-per-view. You don't get that for free.
Pay-per-view. Patreon.
Subscribe to my Patreon. That's what they be saying.
Because a lot of podcasts subscribe to the Patreon if you want this and that. And
subscribe to my OnlyFans.
What had happened was...
What's been going on? Dear Isaiah's going pretty good. I think we can kind of announce it now that we're almost to that month. But Dear Isaiah will be coming to Tubi in September. So stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for our ad and our commercials and our trailer for that. Ladies and gentlemen, since the word's already out for my family members now, your boy's an official biker.
Tell them what it is. Come on.
Yeah. So I've been trying to keep that a secret for the longest time. To be a motorcyclist, I wanted to do that for the past 3 years, but I just, was waiting to save up, to really think about it. And I did have, outside of podcast and K.L.P. Entertainment, we do other ventures too. So one of my business investments came in clutch, actually. And I pulled the trigger on getting a bike. It is a 2025 Can-Am Ryker. So it is a 3-wheel sport bike. I love that thing. I've been riding left and right. It's easy to drive because you just got the throttle and then the brake, and that's it. I mean, you got the parking, and the shifts, but like you just throttle and you just go, right? There's not.
Oh, so you can change from automatic to shift?
So it is automatic. Like
Oh,
the whole
okay.
bike is automatic, so you don't have to like
Oh,
keep
okay, I got you.
switching
That's
your
it.
clutches
Like,
around.
you just drive
You
and
just
reverse
boom and you're ready to go, and then the shift on the left, you pull it back, and then it's in reverse shift. You full throttle and you go backwards.
Okay.
And there's a foot brake. Of course,
Gotcha.
you're braking, but that's it. Like there's no fancy way of doing it because my family members thought that I was getting a 2-wheel sport bike. No,
We should have had your helmet in here. Now,
yeah, we should have, so I can show y'all because I do have a helmet, I do have a jacket, to match with it. But I there's something I wanted to do. As you guys know, I recently turned 30 last month, so I wanted to do something that I've never done before, and by the grace of God, it was able to happen. So I love it. Got my motorcycle license. And it started with me getting a permit first, and then 3 days later, I went in and got the motorcycle license because with a permit, you can drive it legally, but you can drive at night. You can't drive on the interstate, big highways, and you can't have anybody to ride with you with a permit. Now that I've got the actual motorcycle license, I don't have those restrictions. And my driving instructor, he was really, really nice. He was so nice and calm. He didn't scream at me because I had to go to DDS, and I was scared because DMV sometimes, some DDSs, they be screaming at you. But that was the highlight of the week last week. So that's something that, I was able to really sink my teeth into. I'm featured in Voyage ATL. I forgot to mention that when we were planning this catch up. Voyage ATL is, and you should be getting email too because they like to nominate.
Oh, I've done them before. Not the one for ATL.
Okay.
It was I think it was out of Charlotte or Greenville. I never posted it though.
Oh.
Yeah, because I have my thoughts about that.
Oh, yeah.
Let me see.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that off camera.
Yeah, off camera. I want to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, but I will say this: there was something that was printed in the once they sent me the preview, they went live with it.
Yeah.
There was something that was incorrect.
Oh.
I don't know, it's like a typo they missed, because I submitted whatever, and I asked them to send it back so I can edit it and update it.
Gotcha.
And it's like all communications just went cold. It's like they got what they needed, and I'm just like. So I'm not sharing this.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
It's not what I want, so that's why I didn't share it. But
that makes sense.
Yeah,
that
but yeah, I've done it before. And I did it at the end. It did the same thing where it said nominate 3 people or something.
Oh yeah.
So I knew
same kind of concept. Yeah, same kind of concept. I'm excited for it because it's. I mean, I've been featured with them before, so it's like I'm excited, but I've done this before.
But you
a couple years back, so
stuff that you've progressed and added since then. So
new picture too. They got my old story of me. I had like a mohawk type of haircut, and I had the beard, but it was more crazier years ago. And I'm like, oh, that's an old picture. Now they uploaded, fresher pictures of what I look like now. But I'm really happy about that spread, and hopefully people read it and know my story and really get to understand what I was coming from. And then I did get some another news announcement. I think I'll tell you off camera because it got something to do with what I do on the side on the day-to-day with campus, and I try not to bring them so much into this podcast because I don't want them to be like, oh, you talk about us in your podcast. So you kind of have to be careful. But it's good news. It's very, very good news. And that's been me. That's been the catch-up, really. Podcasting's going good. Social media's going good. Fitness is going good. Let me tell you something about this fitness, though.
tell me about it.
I mean,
He in there setting thirst trap for people.
your boy looking kind of big in a good way. I looked myself in the mirror this morning, I was like, whoa.
Who was that?
Whoa. So, shout out to Crunch, y'all. Y'all are awesome. Y'all are awesome. Got a new CEO, too, so congratulations to y'all on that.
Yeah.
And that's what I've been going on. That's what's been going on.
All right, well.
What had happened was
We had
23 minutes into the show.
No, that's cool.
No,
but we had talked about this on our other episodes after the Knicks won.
Yeah, go Knicks.
Go Knicks.
Knicks and 5.
How about the national championship? The NBA championship. Still some stuff coming out of that.
Yes.
So there's a lady who decided that not only would she steal a trash can, but she actually dumped all the trash on the sidewalk and stole the trash can. So I'm gonna read this. This is from Tracy Fan from Facebook. It says from executive director to unemployed over a trash can. A woman went viral after being caught on video dumping trash into a New York City walk. sidewalk, and allegedly walking away with a Knicks-themed public trash can. She has reportedly lost her job, according to reports. Angie Baez, I might be saying her last name wrong, who held an executive level position at J.P. Morgan Chase, was identified as the woman seen emptying the contents of a trash can before taking it during the Knicks championship parade. The company later confirmed that she was no longer employed there. The video quickly spread across social media, sparking intense debate. Some say the consequences don't fit the offense. Others argue that leaders are held to a higher standard and that actions have consequences, especially when they're caught on camera. It says no criminal charges have been announced, and police reportedly said they had not received a formal complaint regarding the incident. One moment, one video, one decision. Do you think losing a six-figure executive job over a stolen trash can is justified, or was the punishment too harsh? Sound off in the comments. And just to give you some, they actually got the video. I don't know if you see it. Like, so you saw her there dumping it, you know. Do you think she deserved to lose her six-figure paying job over trash can that she stole?
I don't think so. I think, now what she did, dumping on that trash on the street, yeah, that's wrong. At most, a citation ticket.
Yeah.
I don't think she should have lost her job because, you know, if you're at an executive level making six figures, you are a valuable asset to that company. Or at least we think, right? She's a Knicks fan, right? We all seen the Knicks won. Everybody went kind of crazy, right? And we hope everyone stays safe. Like, don't break any laws. But we all are excited that the Knicks won a championship after, 50 some odd years?
53 years.
53 years. So she's excited as a Knicks fan. It does suck to lose a job like that. J.P. Morgan Chase, that's a big bank to work for, right? Along with the big banks out there in the world. That's a big one to work for. And honestly, if she's in the executive level of her job, I'm sure. Now, it's caught on camera, and it sucks because when it's caught on camera, it's viral and it's online. That doesn't go away. That sucks. She could work for another bank if she. Now, I don't know what type of job she did in the executive level, but like if you're on the executive level, you've got some experience in financial banking.
Yeah.
Right. So she could find another job at another bank somewhere in this world. I do think J.P. Morgan, my honest opinion, rescind that firing, that wrongfully. I think it's wrongfully termination, honestly, for a trash can that didn't harm anybody. She didn't hurt anybody. She didn't kill anybody. Right. She just dumped some trash on the street. Now, do I think she needs to get a violation ticket? Yeah, that's because that's later at that point. But for her to lose that job for that, it sucks. But I think a lot of banks, along with a lot of companies, they're looking because of the economy, people laying off, people like, okay, how can we lay off some more people so that way we can save money for our company? Yeah. Is what I think is going on. Is what I think why she got fired for something as small as that. Because maybe J.P. Morgan and Chase, along with a lot of businesses, are losing money or they're trying to cut back on salaries. So they say, okay, well, she did that. Let's go ahead and just say that we can fire her for that. Yeah. If she's making six-figure salary annually, that's money that we can save for our business. And it sucks, right? A lot of companies suck for that. But they're a company. They got to look at the bottom line.
I definitely don't think she should have probably got fired.
No.
She, of course, you know, like you said, citation, you're littering, and you got a mayor right now who's trying to clean up the city, who's bringing great things to the city, and you dump this trash. Like, people already look at, you know, New York as this trashy place a lot of times. Like, unless you're in a high volume touristy type place like, you know, Times Square and those type places. Other parts of New York, people are like, oh, it's filthy, it's trashy, blah, blah, blah. And you got a mayor that's actively trying to clean it up. You got people who live there who are actively trying to clean it up. And here you go, you dump this in the sidewalk or whatever. So I think, you know, that she needs to be reprimanded for that and given a fine for it. As far as her company goes, I don't think they can necessarily, especially at first, I don't think they could have said she could have sued for wrongful termination because there's nothing that linked her to her company People had to go and search her by face. And then that's how they found her. But like, I'll see she was dumping it out and she had that logo on or something like that.
Yeah.
Yes. But eventually,
She could have been
internet
regular.
does what it does. They found her.
Yeah.
And found her, I guess her picture maybe on the company site. And I'm like you. There's several things that could have happened here. They either fired her, like you said, they was trying to look for ways to cut people. And so there was one that she made it herself an easy target, right?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Or another reason is she could have been a problem at the company. And because they know they could get sued for wrongful termination, they was waiting on something that they can get rid of her, right?
That sounds familiar too.
And then, I think also what plays a factor to this, which some people be like, oh, well, that's not true. She's a woman. And I say this, think about how many men at the executive level have had all kinds of scandals, but they don't get fired from their six-figure jobs. Like, so again, I think you got a huge target on your back. It's like how we as black people, when we're in certain spaces and we say we got to work twice as hard
to get this
because
a little bit more. Yeah.
we get thrown out or not given the second and third chances that white male counterparts get. Mm-hmm. And her as a woman, she should have known that too. I'm like, girl.
Yeah.
Like, so
for a trash can. I mean, I get it, Knicks fan. I get it. I'm with y'all.
And then after she did all that, lost her job, comes back like then the next week or whatever. This is from Tracy Flanagan on Facebook. She says she lost an executive level job after stealing a trash can, and now they're giving them away. So you don't lost your six-figure
job. You could wait a couple days, baby.
It says the New York City Department of Sanitation is giving away 5 Knicks-themed blue and orange trash can bins following a viral video of a woman taking one after their ticker tape parade. Mind you, they're giving it away because you gave them the idea to give it away. Yeah. Just think if she would have said, who I contacted to try to get one of these. But not only did
I'm sure she do. Have some contacts.
But not only did you get fired from your 6-figure job, right? You gave the city the idea to now give these things away for free.
It went viral, so now, that's a cool idea.
I said winners will be selected randomly and will be announced later this summer. Residents 18 and older can enter online before 5 p.m. on July 3rd. The baskets are the same full-size basket the Department of Sanitation uses on the streets. I'm gonna give you an up close and personal picture of these.
I wonder would they do more of these because it looks like they didn't cost them that much to make those.
Yeah, so and the thing is,
they only giving away 5.
I'm gonna tell you something. That's the trash can, and someone who does props, and different set dressing stuff for the theater. You could have ordered that darn trash can offline somewhere. It probably came in all black or it probably been gray or something like that, and you could have went to your local Lowe's, Home Depot, Walmart,
spray paint.
Got you spray paint and sprayed it. You could have even did a stencil on the ground that said Knicks and put it up there, and so you put Knicks all over.
Oh, that would have been cool.
You could have customized this, and you don't lost a 6-figure paying job for a trash can.
And if you make it 6 figures, you can go and see who's selling these things, and you can pay for it.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm sure you work for J.P. Morgan and Chase. You could have had some contact, like find out how to get one of them trash cans, And I'm just like, and the things that people take as souvenirs, like I'll see if she.
Hope she washed it.
Well, that's the thing. I'm like, thousands upon thousands of people just throwing trash in there, bacteria, germs. I'll see if it was something out of the actual arena, like a piece of the floor broke off or something, and you got that piece of wood, and you went home and put it in like a shadow box and said this was the court that the Knicks won the championship in 2026. That would seem more beneficial than some random trash can on the sidewalk that thousands upon millions of people don't touch. Yeah. Girl. She better than me, but
I know.
What had happened was.
But best of luck to her. I mean, I really hope it looked bad time to get fired from anything.
Right?
I'm just being honest. So I hope she finds her way. Yeah. I hope she finds her way. But yeah, shout out to Knicks and 5.
Yeah. Since we're still in the New York sector, let's talk
it.
about the governor. I kind of highlighted on some stuff with the governor. He has been doing a great job. One of the things that he's done more recently is he put a increase for rent for freeze. He frozen it for 2 years, meaning landlords can't go up on rent for for 2 years.
That's awesome.
Which was an amazing thing because I don't think it's ever happened in the history of New York City, or if it's been a long while. But also yesterday I saw where the pools for the summer have officially opened for New York citizens.
Yeah.
And so he jumped in the pool with his whole suit on with a bunch of kids and was having fun with that.
That's what I love about the new mayor. He just jumps in and just like let me tell you, of course when I saw him running, I can't say he had my vote because I could obviously we're in Georgia. I can't vote for somebody in New York, but his way of leadership, and it's no ego. Yeah. It's a public figure, yes, but it's no ego. It's no, I'm just proud of myself and what I'm accomplishing. Mayor Mamdani, he is working for the people of New York. I'm really happy about this with the freeze of rent because I have quite a few friends that are from that lived in the Manhattan area and then the Queens area, right? That they expressed to us how much their rent is. It is astronomical of how much their rent is. And one friend, we went to, where were we at? We were in Harlem because we were filming the second documentary about New York. And he invited us up. He made us drinks. And then I'm looking around his apartment. I mean, it's like here to maybe about right over there. And that's it. And maybe a little bit for the bathroom, but the kitchen's there, the bedroom's here. And I'm like, wow. And I'm like, and he has a lot of stuff too. So he crams all his stuff in there. And then he tells us that, he also has a storage unit on a different floor because he just doesn't have the space to store all of this. And then he tells me how much his rent is. I was like, nah, I can't do it.
I had a friend that moved to New York and was working there from high school. And I remember at the time I was still renting my townhome, just like around 2014, and she had like a apartment that was like 850 square feet. That was about $3,000 a month. Dang. Right? Yeah. And so the apartment had like 2 bedrooms, I think, and then like a smaller kitchen and one bathroom.
One bathroom? Wow.
That's it. So she had to get a second roommate, so they split that rent, that $3,000, but like their space is like 850 square feet. That's small.
That's small for two.
It was around 2016. My house I bought in that time, my house is 2,000 square feet. I was paying $1,100 for my mortgage. Wow. And I have a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath house.
Could you imagine?
With my kitchen, my living room, my den, I got a 2-car garage.
Yeah.
I got,
more for your money.
My laundry room. I got a huge deck, backyard that's fenced in, So like all that, and I was paying a third of what they were paying. Like it was like, I was like, I can't stay in New York. You in a shoebox with, and you got another person, and she had a dog, like a little small dog. Like, that's a lot in 850 square feet.
And these are apartments, and some of them they're made thin, so you hear your neighbor right in your living room, So that's crazy. So I'm glad that he's doing something like that. It just kind of eases off because we're still in some trying times.
But one of the things I want to point out that also happened recently, this is from Notice News off of Facebook. It says, yes, Mamdani plans to cover 30% of New York City in trees by 2040, starting with the neighborhood that needed most. It says New York City released its first ever urban forest plan, and the way it's structured tells you everything about who the administration and governor is. It says instead of planting trees wherever someone calls 311 or makes a big donation, which is how it used to work, Mamdani's plan, it starts with the neighborhoods getting hit hardest by extreme heat. Wow. So it says low-income communities of color currently have just 19% tree canopy coverage compared to 26% in wealthier areas. Yeah. That gap, it said, isn't aesthetic, it's a matter of life and death. Heat kills more than 500 New Yorkers every summer. Black New Yorkers die at twice the rate of white New Yorkers, and the neighborhoods with the least shade are almost always the same neighborhoods with the least wealth, the least air conditioning, and the least political power. Mamdani is starting there on purpose. It says the plan divides the city into more than 400 zones and commits to hitting every viable planting spot in the highest. heat risk neighborhoods first. It says with the goal of completing the most vulnerable areas by the end of 2027, which is the end of next year. Every community board district gets service on a regular rotation after that. No neighborhood gets skipped, no donation required. It says New York City's 7 million trees already provide $260 million in annual benefits.
Wow.
Excuse me, removing over 1,100 tons of air pollution, saving energy equivalent to 8,000 homes, and reducing stormwater runoff by 69 million cubic feet. A tree planted today does more work in 20 years than it does now. This is infrastructure that gets better with time. So, shout out to him because
shout out to him.
He's doing some great things
Doing good stuff.
And stuff that people have brought up. This is what happens when you have politicians who actually utilize the resources they have. Because a lot of times you'll get these one percenter politicians in there saying, well, we can't do that. Yes, you do. Tax the rich the appropriate amount of taxes and use your resources where they're supposed to be used, not to fund more rich people. And so the funds are there if you allocate them and use them the way in this it should be used.
Yep.
And so that's I think that's a great idea. And when you talk about the pools now, you're talking about trees and stuff, you're giving people a sense of like environment and things that can uplift your mood.
Right.
That's the one thing I say. Say what you want about the South. You can call it little country bunkers and all that. I am that. I grew up country with dirt roads. But when I go to New York, the very first thing that I witnessed the first time I went was, I was like, dang, they ain't got no trees here.
Yeah.
Like it was like a little tree here and there, but I was just like, I missed the greenery. It felt, like even
I feel like they don't have enough trees at Central Park too. I went to Central Park and yes, there's trees, but it's not as a lot as what you see in the movies or what I thought.
Well, and Central Park is a whole nother story in itself. The way y'all just dismantle a whole black community to put that park there.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, I'm glad they're doing this because there's something spiritual about when you see a tree.
Yeah.
And especially the taller it is, you just know that tree has survived. Yeah. Like harsh weather, people, the environment, but it's still standing. There's something spiritual about that. That connects us to the earth, to this life.
I like to see trees when the roots are kind of like above ground just a little bit, and you get to see where it all connects.
Yeah,
and so like it's a little weird, not weird, but a little cranny there. I like seeing that.
And I think like what they mentioned about the heat and everything. I think it helps when you got people. Like you said, the things that prevent people from overheating and stuff. Because imagine a lot of the like conflict that people get in the summer. A lot of it starts because people just overtired, overworked, they're hot, bothered, and like so the least little thing kind of sets people off when you got all that. Like, but imagine if you've been having a bad day. And you get to go, and there's some greenery somewhere over there, and you get to go sit under a tree and rest in a cool shade. Yeah,
that's awesome. That's awesome.
That's a lot different than you trying to walk 10 blocks with no shade, and it's 98 degrees.
Hot.
By the time you get to where you're going, somebody say hey to you the wrong way, you ready to pop off. Yeah. Right? So I'm like, I'm looking forward to seeing how he continues to, shape New York City. And I will say, I just want to point out that he is a millennial.
Hey, shout out to the millennials. Yeah, I kind of claim it a little bit. Kind of claim it a little bit,
Well,
just a little bit.
What year you born?
96.
Okay,
that's why
you right there. Right there.
Let me in the club.
Yeah, you're right there. 96, 97, they like the cutoff.
Yeah, cutoff.
He was born in 91, so. Yeah. But shout out to him.
Shout out to him.
But moving on.
What had happened was...
I love it. I love to see good leadership and good mayors and politicians using it for great resources. And speaking of great leadership, did you see the Obama Center?
I did. In Chicago.
Yes,
the library, yes. Presidential library for President Obama.
That building is so beautiful, y'all. I told Mama next time we in Chicago, because I've been to Chicago twice. Yeah. And we hope to for a third soon. When we go, I told Mama, hey, when we in Chicago, when we first touch down in Chicago, the first thing we got to do is go to the Obama Presidential Center. If you guys don't know, last weekend, it was Juneteenth weekend. And of course, the Obamas opened their first ever Obama Presidential Library Center. It's a library down to I think they got a basketball court in there, a swimming pool is in there, some greenery, some trees and some
outside
greenery.
they have like some reflection.
Yeah.
What they call waterscape things and different places you can sit and eat and be in community. There's a theater in there.
Yes.
For live performances, all kinds of stuff.
All
It's
kinds of
beautiful.
stuff. I want to see because Barack had a special, I guess, a floor dedicated to his Oval Office or his decoration of him when he was president. A replica of his Oval Office in that building, and I can't wait to go.
Which is great because how many people can say in this lifetime they've ever even been in the White House to tour it, right? I've been to D.C. so many times. I've never been inside the White House. I've walked down to it. Since the person that's in there now, and it was in there previously, I didn't go nowhere near it during those times. And now it looked like one big trashy trailer park of mess going on. When you look at the area view of it. So I have no intention of wanting to go there now, but definitely the replica of the Oval Office. Take pictures there. See, and like kids can come in there and see themselves in that. I know.
And it's such a. I saw a video of, I think it was a young lady and her mom was in there, and they were here. They had their husbands there too, but they recorded the mama and really the mama because she, of course, obviously voted for Barack back in 2008. Of course, we knew of Barack Obama. I wasn't old enough to vote for Barack Obama in 2008.
I voted in both of them.
I wish I could say that because that is a humbling feeling. But and to see the mama, she looked around and her reaction, she just shed a tear.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I know why she did because when we found out Barack Obama won in 2008, both my parents cried and my grandma cried. Both my grandmas cried. Because it was just a symbol of us being able to, of course, run the country. First ever black president, so he represent our history and our culture. So just see that mama crying, it's like, that reminds me of my grandma. It reminds me of my mom when back in 2008. So it's very, very, it's humbling. It is very, very exciting. I can't wait to see it. The Obamas, congratulations. You guys are my president. Barack, you my president forever. I don't care what nobody says.
And that first election was very special to me too because my grandmother, who's no longer with us, I got my license when I was 15, right? So I've been driving a long time. But whenever election year would come up or whatever, sometimes I would take my grandmother and drive her to the polls to vote. She would dress up in her best and she'd go to that poll and vote. Oh, wow. And of course, later in life, me doing tours about, and diving deeper into Black history and doing tours about voters' rights and stuff like that when I was in theater, it connected me to why she would dress up with her best and go proudly in there to cast her vote. Yeah. Because she came through the time when she couldn't. Yep. And even trying was a potential death sentence. Or your house will get burnt down. Or they'll come drag your husband out and lynch him in front of the kid. Like, there was a whole lot going on. So I got to take her to see, to go vote. But by the time his first run, the 2008 election, I was, I think in my sophomore year. And that was my very first time I got to vote. I was voting for a black president. Yeah. So, because, I turned 18 in 2006. Right. So I was like, I got to vote for a black president. So, and then I got to vote in the second one. So, and my grandmother got to vote in that 2008 election. Oh, wow. Which the joy I saw on her face when I took her to her polling place to vote. Well, no, I didn't take her to that one. I talked to her after because I think I was in college and I had to vote from where I was absentee. But I just talking to her about that and how she said, I vote for, because she never elevated to saying black. My grandmother used the word colored because that's what she was called. Right. That makes sense. She's like, I vote for the first colored man president. And she was so proud of that, And she didn't get to vote in the 2012 election because that's when did she vote? I'm trying to think when she had her. Yeah, I think she had a stroke. Maybe it was right before that. And I don't think she got to vote in that one, but she did get to vote for him at least in the 2018. I know for sure she did in the 2008 election. And, I remember even on that campaign trail, because I was in college. My cousin at the time lived in Charlotte, right on the Charlotte, Rock Hill line, because he went to Winthrop. And me and my ex at the time, we went to stay with my cousin for a weekend because Barack Obama was campaigning. He was coming there.
Oh.
And so we actually got to go to his campaign.
Yeah.
There's an old picture, I gotta find it, that we're like right there and he came down the line, he's shaking hands and stuff. And so we actually got to meet him and everything. And then he got into his speech. And I remember us just, yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
Like it was dope. I was like,
back.
But this particular event opening the Presidential Library, they had
that's awesome.
amazing music there.
Yeah.
Jennifer Hudson was sung the national anthem.
Yep.
You had John Legend was up there. Tim's was there. You had the Stevie Wonder, and Stevie got ready to play. Michelle bounced up. She stood up. She looked at them people.
Come on.
Like you couldn't tell what she said, but her actions gave.
Yeah.
I know y'all ain't about to sit down with Stevie up here,
yeah.
and so she made everybody get up, and start partying and everything, and just. That was a great time.
That was a great time. They were doing the line dancing.
Yeah.
They probably played Boots on the Ground.
all of that.
Yeah.
Kennedy, I don't know what you be doing. You were just singing just now and clapping and rocking on two different beats.
I was. Boots on the Get where them fans at.
There you go.
Fans at.
We gonna work on his rhythm, y'all.
Yeah.
Like,
we gonna work on it.
He's like boots on the ground.
Hey.
You don't remix the song and everything.
I did.
But it led us to the next topic.
What happened was
talking about Stevie Wonder, who's one of our living legends, right?
Yes.
And the question you had brought up earlier was, when is it time for people to hang it up? If they're,
I posed that question because I saw on social media lately, Lionel Richie. Lionel Richie, he's semi on tour. He had a concert, and I noticed that he was performing, but he seemed a little stiff, like he couldn't really walk correctly. And then towards the mid of his set, he had to pop a squat and say, "Hey, y'all sing. I'm tired." So I always wondered that because these older, I want to say OGs is what I like to, out of respect, the OGs that will perform out there, and they might have to manage their in concert they say wind control. So when you're singing or rapping a performance, you got to dance, you got to move around, and your breath is taken because now you've got the audience engaged, you got music playing behind you, got lights and strobes and everything that takes the wind out of you. So I always wondered that with because these past few years, you had a lot of the greats performing at these concerts, and some of them have to postpone their shows. They've got to cancel their shows. They got to stop their set mid-set because they're exhausted. Yeah. So I always wanted to pose that question. When do you hang it up? Yeah. Right. I even saw too. If you guys know, Chris Brown, Usher, they started their R&B tour.
Well, before you go into that, let me tell them where they can find this. So the post that he's talking about is on World Star on their IG page. Lionel Richie concert in St. Paul at Grand Casino Arena is canceled mid-show. It says that Lionel Richie was forced to end his concert early at the Grand Casino Arena in St. Paul after becoming ill on stage. It says during the performance of Dancing on the Ceiling, it says Richie sat down and told the crowd he was feeling dizzy. He returned to perform 3 times a lady at the piano before announcing an unplanned intermission, but never came back to finish the show. And so you go to World Star, their page, you'll see that, and it actually has video of him, like you were saying, kind of walking across stage, and then sitting down. He tells the audience he felt a little dizzy. Yeah,
and when you sit down, because he sat down, it's hard to do on camera. He sat down, he was looking like this, like that's dizziness, like he's trying to catch wind, right? And I wonder for him. It's hard for me to ask that question. When is it time to hang it up? Because older acts like Lionel Richie, they still want to rehash their glory days, if you will, and rehash that concert and that music feeling. But I mean, Lionel Richie's rich, right? He's made his money. Most of his songs that are out now, people listen to, that's residual checks now. So he could technically just kind of take it slow, but then he still has the urge. Same thing with Smokey Robinson. And Smokey Robinson.
Now I'm gonna tell you, Smokey could have kept that album by some gasms. Smokey, you could have kept that gasms album. That's not what we know you for, sir. It gave cringe.
Yeah, it cringed a little bit. And he was.
And at that time when he was on stage and he was rolling his hips and stuff like that.
He was like,
We don't need that
like,
from you, sir.
oh.
We don't need that from you.
Because it was just stiff. I'm like, yeah, it's time to hang it
I
up,
was
Pops.
like,
Hang it up. But
I would say this though. I wouldn't say hang it up because of their age. All right, and even with the money factor, yes, he's rich. Yes, he has royalty checks and stuff coming in. But I don't think sometimes at that point they're still doing it for the money. It's still the art is still the love that they love doing.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I don't see me ever not wanting to be on a microphone, whether it's this like podcasting or the singing or me being in front of people. Like, I like to have conversations. Sports. As bad as my body be like, girl, sit down. My mind be like, no, I love sports. Now, the thing I talked about with you before we started was, I don't think like they necessarily have to retire, but but they don't necessarily have to retire. They do have to reorganize their thinking process of how they do touring. So if you were doing 40, 60, city tours when you were 18, 19, 20, and now you're 70 something, you don't need to be doing that many cities. Like, it's okay to say, okay, we're just going to do 15 cities, right? If you got the fan base, they're going to show up. These people going to fly. They're going to do what they got to do, to come see you, whatever, right?
Yep.
The same thing for the audience, though. You have to kind of change your perspective a little bit on what you're going to see. If somebody that you used to like, you still love them as an artist, if back in their 20s, they were on stage doing backflips all the way across the stage, and they ain't in that type of shape, ain't did a backflip in 15 to 20 years, you can't expect that when you go to see a 70-year-old who's performing those same old songs from back then. You can't expect them to have the same type set.
Yeah.
So it's like the expectations, I think, need to shift. I don't think they necessarily have to hang it up, because I will tell you this. Some of our older population, from a nursing perspective, the thing that makes them deteriorate fast is them not having something to do. That's why a lot of times when I'm talking to clients and patients who are on the verge of retiring, one of the first questions I ask them, so what's your plan after you retire? What do you plan on doing? Right. It's like, what do you mean? I was like, do you have any hobbies you like to do or something you want to get into? Well, I haven't thought about that. I said, well, you should think about that. Yeah, because what I often see is people retire, and where they were getting up every day, going to work or being active or mobile, now they're just sitting home and they're just sitting. And as they sit, they get stiff. Yeah. And then they start putting on weight. And then joint problems, this problem, that problem, and stuff starts slowly going down. Some of them get depressed because now you didn't realize how much it was when you was out working or amongst people that you had community, even if they weren't like true friends, but you had people that you could commune with. Yeah. Now you're retired and you don't go to a work or a space that you see these 30 or 40 people every day or every week. Now you're home by yourself, with just you and the TV. Yeah, that makes sense. A lot of people develop depression, and then as you get older, you start noticing that your friends are passing away. More family members are passing away. So that's a good setup for depression and your body deteriorating faster. So a lot of times with my elderly who are still active and doing stuff, I encourage them to stay active. My grandmother, before she had her 2 strokes, I remember even when she was in her late 70s, she died in her 80s, but when she was in her late 70s, she was still getting out in the sun, gardening and doing work. And my uncle that used to take her to her doctor's appointments would ask her doctor sometimes, do you think she needs to be out there in that sun doing this all the time? Her heart doctor told her, yes. That's the thing, keeping her heart healthy. My grandmother at 70-something could withstand and be outside and doing yard work and all that kind of stuff probably better than a lot of 20 and 30-year-olds because she had a strong, healthy heart. Yeah. She ain't had no machinery that was out there laying her seeds and stuff. She did everything with a hoe and a rake by hand. Wow. Yeah. So, I always encourage my elderly who are up and moving and doing stuff to keep doing that, because once they start slowing down and they quit using their body and they quit, with their mind, it's like stuff stops lapsing. And so I'm like, I always encourage that, And we're talking about music and stuff right now, like you said, Chris Brown and Usher.
What had happened was
they tour started, man.
Their tour started, even where they are now. If life keep lifing, they gonna be the same age as Lionel Richie one day, And we have to ask the same question again, but. What have your thoughts on their
so the tour has started, y'all. R&B tour. Can't wait to see them in Atlanta. That's gonna be dope in November. Shout out to them. They started in Denver, and the question is, because we talked about Lionel Richie, I've seen it on social media too that some people are already complaining already because Chris Brown, Beast. he could go and do flips and dance and sing all at the same time. Usher is a little different. People have been complaining about Usher.
Okay, what have they been saying?
Because they think that Usher was, for Denver, not prepared, stiff. Some people's like, well, he's getting up there in age, so he can't do what Chris Brown could do. So my honest opinion, Chris Brown's on a different level, right? He just came from his Breezy Bowl tour, and he's again doing flips and dancing and the jigaboo, and he got this thing on here.
Not a jigaboo.
He's flying all over the arena. Like, Chris Brown is a monster, right? Usher's not doing all that. Usher's not gonna get harnessed on and fly around the building. I do think Usher is still in his tier top shape, but I think Usher just has a different style. I'm also on that side of the fence where people and podcasters have been saying that, you know, this is the kickoff show. And it sucks for Denver because I've been to Denver. Denver's nice, but like some people are saying you don't want to go to the show on night one, right? They have to develop this thing. They got to really understand the whole choreograph. They got to understand the timeline of this tour and the set list for them to get accustomed to it and doing the same things. Now, honestly, I think Usher is still going to be Usher, right? He's still going to take it because he did it different. He had his whole shirt off, walking through the crowd, trying to serenade the ladies, right? He didn't bust out the cherries or anything like that. But he got his own style. And honestly, I think it's really good for Usher to have his style and Chris Brown to have his style. Not have Usher be just like Chris Brown, in my humble opinion. Now, I did see where maybe Usher's couldn't really hit some of the high notes. He was a little bit winded, just a little bit. And I think he's just getting accustomed to going back on tour, doing a big tour. Because, again, the R&B tour starts now in June. It won't end until like the end of December. So they got a couple of months.
And then at first I saw that concert was like 4 hours.
It's 4 hours.
So,
which makes sense because Breezy Bro last year, I felt it was 5 hours. We got there at 2. I didn't get home to about 11:30, 12 o'clock at night.
I will say, if that's the case, like, if I'm going to pay X amount of dollars that they be charging for these concerts nowadays, it better be 4 hours. Because how long was Beyonce concert? Them tickets were running for thousands of dollars.
Yeah, it was not that long.
And I was like, well, maybe 2 hours at that. I'm like, shoot. Now for that, it should have been 4 hours. But like, if you gonna run something 4 hours, it better match with the ticket prices. You know, like.
Yeah, but shout out to the Chris Brown and Usher. You know, part of the millennial group, kind of, just a little bit.
Oh no, they are.
Yeah,
they are millennials.
Yeah, I listen to them. You know, old Chris Brown and young old Chris Brown, young Chris Brown, old Usher, young
Usher. Chris Brown definitely is a millennial. Because Chris Brown is a year. I think he's a year younger than me. And then Usher is either a millennial or he's a what did they call right before us? Gen Xer. Let me see when his birthday is. Usher.
Yeah, man.
Usher Raymond. Because I think Usher might be along with my brother. Yeah, he's a Gen Xer.
Okay. Yeah, man. They gonna make some money now.
Yeah, so.
I don't think I should.
And that's all we got on that.
Yeah.
Y'all let us know if y'all gonna pay them ticket prices and going to the R&B tour.
Hey.
Let us know if Usher too stiff for you or whatever.
What had happened was,
Chris Brown gonna flip till he can't flip or flop no more.
what had happened was,
But it was tune in to the baddest. You know what it is. I'm your girl Evelyn Tisha with my boy Kitty Lucas Patterson.
Boy, howdy.
And make sure you are following
what had
us
happened was,
on Facebook, What Had Happened Was Podcast, IG, WHHW Radio 1. You can listen to us where all of our podcasts are on every streaming site.
what had happened was,
Make sure you tune in right here next time with us. Yeah.
what had happened was.
Made it.